RPG a Day 2017, day 28. Let's see what today's question is. What film or series is the biggest source of quotes in your group? This is kind of funny, and it's something where I actually had to go back and ask my players if they had any input on this, because I racked my brain with my current groups and couldn't come up with anything. There's tons of references. There's tons of, like I've mentioned multiple times, that there's tons of Conan the Barbarian references. There's tons of references to this and that, the other thing. But quotes actually haven't stood out in my current games all that much. And when I asked my players, they were talking about, oh, I often use Star Trek quotes. I often use Star Wars jokes or something like that, but nothing really that crept into our game sessions, at least not in a prominent way. So I kind of thought back, and I remembered my old group, and yeah, we used to have quotes from actually a certain book, and it's a book in Finnish, so I can't help you with that. There were a couple of quotes there from Mikael Karvajalka, which is Michael the Finn, or the Adventurer, depending on the translation. But anyway, that's not a good example to give everybody. But then I remembered that one of my best friends, whom I exchange quotes all the time, and with whom I use quotes in casual conversation all the time. Yeah, we used to game back in the day, but it was a long time ago. But yeah, it's not my current group that's using these quotes. But with that friend of mine, we used to quote Predator 2 and the Blade movies all the time. Whenever you're kind of like when he was like feeling like going out for a packet of cigarettes or something, and I was like, hey, want to play another round of Tekken or something? And he was like, later, gotta go downtown, get some serum. You know, serum can't wait. This is important. You know, that kind of stuff. I can't remember how well all those things kind of played into role playing sessions, but you can always kind of just think about stuff having to do with the Blade or something like that, or Predator 2, and you can easily imagine stuff fitting a role-playing session. You know, it was kind of funny. We used to throw around those quotes so often that we could kind of like notice certain things. Like there's like little thing when Wesley Snipes ends, you know, something that ends with a K and an S. It's really pronounced, kind of like when he says, "I'm giving him an accelerated retroviral detox," and a Simtex. Why don't you post up on the roof over there? Cover backs. You know, stuff like that. We always found that hilarious. But you know, it's kind of funny. It's actually, that's where I got my original channel name from Blade 2, that accelerated retroviral detox. That's where I got my original channel name of Hammered Shit Steak, because it's like Blade asks after he's given the accelerated retroviral detox to Whistler after he's been turned into a vampire, and Whistler turns back to a human, and the next morning Blade asks him, how do you feel? And Whistler replies with, like hammered shit. Like, and I was like, you know, like hammered shit steak, whatever. You know, I didn't get the I didn't realize I got it all mixed up. But then again, that channel name kind of said something about my sense of humor and how seriously I take myself, which is not very, you know. So that was good. But yeah, a lot of stuff like in Predator 2. There's just random quotes that go around, you know, like, "What the fuck are you doing now, man? You're crazy." You know, shit happens. Fucking voodoo magic man. You know, whenever you see like in a role-playing game something, you know, supernatural happening, you know, fucking voodoo magic man. You know, stuff like that. It's a neat little fit, like, hey, makes sense, man. And just about everything, at least to my friend, looked like a spear tip or something. Something like that. Yeah. No, where the hell am I? It's just there's just too many good ones. You know, you cannot see the eyes of the demon until he come calling. You know, good shit. Good shit. There's a lot better movies out there that could have been used in this, but I don't know, for some reason, Blade movies, and Predator 2 just happen to fit. Like there's this kind of link with that friend of mine where casual stuff, having to do with everything, everyday things. Suddenly, both of us kind of immediately recognize when quotes from Blade or Predator 2 fit it. you know, like recommending something to somebody, like try some, you might like it. Thanks, but I prefer the real thing, and stuff like that. Catch you fuckers at a bad time. you know, I don't know, but that's all fun stuff. It's a lot of times like I'm a big Arnold movie buff as well. Like I grew up on Arnold, and it's kind of funny. Like I'm currently in a theater project where the director is someone who just can't get enough of my terrible Arnold impression. And whenever I'm in his car and he drives me to the location, and stuff, he's constantly egging me on, like give me some Arnold stuff. I want to hear Arnold stuff, and he always blows up with laughter whenever I say something like, "Come on, Cohagen, you got what you want. Now give these people the air," and stuff like that. I'm a police officer, those kind of things. Come on, baby, let's do it. Do what? Move to Mars. Now maybe we can interest you on some of our Saturn cruises. I'm not interested in Saturn. I said Mars. You fucked up. You should have mouthed off about Mars. Are you crazy? I've never even been to Mars. Get your ass to Mars. Yeah. Yeah, this video doesn't really serve much, but my terrible impressions perhaps have given you something, because some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill. So see you tomorrow. Ah, Jerry!